Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy, the Knight of Justice, back again with another power scaling video. It's been a hot minute. I've been doing good, had a lot going on in my life, and had to step back from making YouTube videos. But now my schedule is a lot more flexible, and I'll be able to pump out more videos more often, so you guys should be look out for that when they come out in the future. In today's video, we'll be discussing the history of the Celestials, powerful cosmic beings who rank among some of the most powerful characters in the Marvel Universe. We'll be discussing their origin, their powers, and various members of the host such as Tiamat, the Fulcrum, Aspirins, Exetar, Toa Celestial, Death Celestials, and the host as a whole. But before we begin, hit the like, share, and subscribe button, and comment down below, as well as hit the notification bell to stay notified for videos when they come out. So with that out of the way, let's get into it. Celestials, in a simple sense, are referred to as space gods, but that doesn't mean they're gods in the sense that you may say creation myth or mythology in a sense, like Thor, Zeus, Ra, or Odin. However, there are cosmic beings with immense powers whose size and scopes defy human perception. They may not be almighty, but they have definitely influenced the human history over the course of years. In the beginning, it is revealed in Ultimate Issue 2 of 2016 that the Celestials themselves have a creator, the first firmament, a living embodiment of the first universe. The Celestials and their counterpart, the Aspirins, were meant to be the first firmament servants. However, the Celestials desired to allow their own creation to live and evolve, lead to the disastrous war between the two Celestials as the Aspirins and the Color Celestials that left the first firmament shattered. A war usually comes from the picture when it comes to Celestials is unknown and uncanny, but they use powerful weapons to be able to shatter their creator. It is later revealed in Defenders Beyond Issue 2 and Venom Issue 15 2001 run, they are the ones who created the Beyonders with their raw power to destroy the Celestials themselves as a failsafe in case other Celestials' war were to break out, with the Beyonders being the Celestial servitors. The Celestials observed from the new cosmos, while the Beyonders continue maintenance from the remnants of the second cosmos outside of creation. The Beyonders control the cosmic cycle from the mystery, implying their superiority over all destroyers of the multiverse, calling themselves experiments is necessary for their, existence. It is also explained that Period Beyonder, along with other versions of themselves, were just him evolving and then finally turning into the full self he once was in the mystery. This whole time, the Beyonder was just aspect, just like the other Ivory King, or other Beyonders. It is then revealed in Avengers Beyond Issue 2 that the Celestials created the Lost One, and that it made the Beyonders. Until unable to kill him, they imprisoned him on the moon outside of the Omniverse. Actually, I'm seeing a weird pattern here. The first firmament made the Celestials, and then the Celestials had Aspirins, and they had a war that shattered their creator. Then the Celestials made the Lost One, and the Lost One made the Beyonders, and the Beyonders betrayed him, and they were unable to kill him, so they imprisoned him. It's kind of a, I betrayed my boss, so I make another, altercation where I make creations that betray me. Kind of weird how that works. It is also confirmed by the writer that, the Celestials did create the Lost One did create the Beyonders. Upon entering the abyss, or the void, left by the destruction of the 6th universe, they filled it with the 7th universe. They encountered Null, a primordial god of darkness, who had ruled over the abyss, and tried to recruit him as the King in Black. Enraged, Null attacked and decapitated a Celestial using the Necrosword of the living darkness, and began a war against the Celestials and their creation. The body and souls of a failed Celestial were bound to Null and trapped in the realm between, while the severed head was turned into a, mini city in space known as Nowhere that you see, and kind of famously throughout the Guardians of the Galaxy run. It is revealed in Venom issue 18 of the 2021 run that the Celestials were really there to recruit Null to be the new King in Black, but not wanting to take the responsibility brought to him by the cosmos to maintain the multiverse from the inside as the King in Black, while the Beyonders worked from the outside. He revolted. Like, Null's basically a victim in this. He was basically saying, oh, you're gonna thrust this responsibility on me, and I don't want it. Oh well, I guess I have to take you guys out. Later on down the line, the Celestials create the Deviants and the Eternals. Unlike the Eternals, the Deviants came close to becoming Earth's dominant species thanks to their powers and their incredible scientific breakthroughs. It is revealed in Eternals 2006 that the Deviants were so close to conquering humanity and the Eternals that the second host was summoned to deal a blow. And when faced with the Celestials, the Deviants actually attacked their own creator. Seems kind of familiar. In response, the Celestials caused a great cataclysm that sank the Deviant homeworld. The Deviants survived, but they had never regained their full powers as they once did before in the past. Unlike the Deviants, the Eternals' human-like appearance has allowed them to seemingly live among humanity. However, the Eternals' superhuman gifts has sometimes caused them to be mistaken as gods, much to the arrogance of actual deities like Zeus and the Greek gods. Regardless, the Eternals still looked upon the Celestials as the creators and treated them accordingly. Although Eternals are seemingly immortal, they can be killed. However, the reenaction chamber can revive and physically change almost any Eternal. This is why Sprite is now a female as of Eternals 2021, issue 1, as opposed to a young male in his previous life. In Avenger issue 5 of the 2018 run, it is explained that 4 billion years ago, a celestial referred to as the Progenitor crashed upon Earth after it was infected by a parasitic race known as the Horde. The Progenitor died a sad and lonely death, and its body was buried within the Earth below the North Pole. But the celestial diseased body fuel seeped into the Earth and pre-located throughout the planet's primitive surface, forever altering the Earth's evolutionary traits. This proceeded and ultimately giving the rise to superhuman abnormalities present in many of Earth's inhabitants, basically giving rise to metahuman powers down the line. Around this time, a celestial named Zagreb the Askren came to Earth in search for the Progenitor. Zagreb found the Progenitor became infected with the Horde. However, the Horde mutated in him into the remains of the Dark Celestial, the first of its kind. Zagreb went berserk and entered a conflict with the Avengers of the Stone Age. They defeated a weakened and sickly Zagreb and buried it underground in the territory that would become South Africa in the modern time. With Zagreb's defeat, a sizable group of the First Host came. Odin believed they had come for revenge and joined the Avengers to face the Celestials. But the Avengers were soundly defeated, and instead of passing judgment upon them, the Celestials just left as it was. I guess it's basically like, oh, well, we got revenge and we beat them, and they're kind of pretty much too weak for us to care, so let's just dip. Now, I can go on and on and on about Celestials' history, but we'll be here for days, forever. We would not leave this point. However, if you want a more in-depth video on the topic, the overall history of various members of the race or individual members, comment down below and I'll see what I can do down the line. But let's get into the real fun of this video, the overall placement of the Celestial within the cosmos. Now, Celestials have laid a groundstone for your power and respect they have with various race and members throughout the Marvel Universe, and even the gods fear them, and the abstracts just overall respect who they are. Now, I will not sit here and say the Celestials are all powerful or almighty. They do have their limitations, and there are beings above them. But they do have impressive feats in lore that shows just how powerful they really are, and let's go over a few of those right now. The Infinity Stones are controlled and serve the will of the Celestials, referred to as the Puppet Master by Loki. Gods such as Zeus, Odin, Vishnu, and many others knew the existence of celestials, a race of armored and external titans whose power far outscoped their own. A celestial is said to be responsible for the creation of the Norn stones of Norse mythology. The celestial killed by No long ago when it was trying to recruit him to become the King in Black created within itself a sort of afterlife. Roma, a lady of the North Sky, is the daughter of the legendary wizard Merlin. She used to be the omniversal guardian charged with the safety of the omniverse based out the Starlight Citadel high above Otherworld. She considered the Celestials all-powerful. The Celestials inhabit a prime universe and have been writing Loki's destiny and have been sending infinity stones into the universes. If the gods had fought the third host of Celestials, it might have meant the end of their kind and considered the ultimate threat. Two Celestials can one-shot the Unimind and can lay waste to the universe. The Celestials bullied a destroyer that had the life force of the entire Asgardian race except Thor, and that the greatest weapon of the gods was no match for the Celestials. There have only been indications of the full scope of the Celestials' power, implying they had been holding back in their previous fights. Celestials are beings that transcend both humankind and immortals. Their forms exist in multiple places at once, and nothing can compare with their limitless power of the Celestials, as well as transcending the concept of causality. Cubic and Cosmos, who are living cosmic cubes, are insignificant creatures compared to the Celestials, and their powers are nothing compared to that of a Celestial. Their powers are trans-infinite compared to Cubic and Cosmos. Their scope of influence exists on higher planes than Watchers. Nameless Celestials are a tiny fraction of the space gods. Each universe merely exists as a dream to the Celestials, just as they are merely fragments of the collective consciousness. The fifth host stopped the Goblin entity, which had previously devoured the Phoenix Force, although it left their race decimated, which is crazy since we just reached the fifth host, or that now there are two fifth host Celestials, which is kind of weird. Or maybe there was always been a fifth host. Weird. The Celestials are implied to be above the lights of the Dark Phoenix and Onslaught by Apocalypse. They're also above Apocalypse too, so I mean he should also include himself. They exist beyond conventional understanding of space and time, permitting them to exist in more than one place at a time. The Celestials imbued Weapon X with massive cosmic powers on par with the Phoenix Force. Kind of crazy how they have statements to be on par with the Phoenix Force. Probably as a group. The Celestial's armor is made out of vibranium, held within a carbonated matrix. The armor is designed to protect the universe from the protein energy raging within them, not to protect the Celestials from harm. Celestials are seemingly powerful cosmic beings on the same actual level as the Watchers and the Galactus. Create the Death Seed, which rivals the Phoenix Force trans-primitive potential. The Celestials shaped creation, created life from darkness, and with life they created death, splitting the universe into multiverse, with nothing but their will. The Celestials fought the Astrons for domain of all of existence at the beginning of time, and the Celestials and Astrons were both decimated towards the end of the war. This war is referring to the First Firmament. Some say that the Celestials are architects of creation, and Beast's theory is correct that the Celestials are made of nothing or perceived to be everything. They do not have separate aspects of themselves in each universe. They exist as aspects of one being linked across all the multiverse simultaneously. I guess you can say this or interpret this as in there is one aspirin or one Erishim in 616 that is the same Erishim across every reality or plane, however you want to wish to take this statement. Or that they don't have aspects like, conventional aspects like, other astral entities like eternity, living tribunal, or death. It is said the Celestials created life and death in their current form. They created the multiverse itself in fire and conflagration at the dawn of all things. As for the Celestials are equal in power, a powerful race, the conflict was so all-encompassing that it shattered the universe in countless pieces. Now let's get into the more unique and well-known members of the Celestial race, starting with Exetar. Thor wonders if Exetar's defeat is even conceivable in his eyes. Exetar is a living manifestation of power incarnate and didn't feel Thor's mightiest blow. In his mind, all events take place at the exact same time. The dome protecting Exetar's brain is consumed by a substance even harder than celestial armor. If Thor is to crack it, it must be to use the God Blast to reinforce by his belt of power. The blast destroys Mjolnir and the dome, but staggers Exetar only for a moment. Never before has Thor experienced such utter agony, such intense pain as when he jumped into Exetar's brain. It seems highly unlikely that too much power exceed that Exetar, who dwarfs even Arishem in size and might, though this will be changed later. The size and power of the fourth host are nothing in comparison to those of higher level celestials such as Exetar. Exetar kills the one, his death cry echoes throughout infinite conduits of existence. Along with others of his race, and depending on the era and members of the host, Exetar is said to be the strongest member of the Celestials. Awatu says there is nothing to be done after Exetar makes his judgment. It takes dozens of heroes, including Doctor Strange, Hyperion, Captain Britain, Namor, etc., to temporarily hold back Exetar's descent, and all the heroes would die if they tried to engage with Exetar. Every hero on Earth gave Rogue everything they got, and it still wasn't enough to stop Exetar's descent. His soul is so powerful, it's the most powerful energy source in all of existence. An omnipotent well, according to Kang, and along with his energy, Kang would conquer the universe. Skaden the Approver scares the likes of the Beyonder and Protege. Skaden encases a living tribunal level Protege and a celestial energy muzzle. The human personification of Ashima, the listener, fear hacks the Man-Thing. Ashima crushes Loki. The heroes have never been so close to death as when they made Ashima mad. Ashima could obliterate the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, and Doctor Doom without a thought. She also turned Thor into a frog. And Ashima is among the Celestials as gods among the universe and possesses untold cosmic power. The Aspen Celestials are equally powerful races. The conflict was so encompassing that it shattered the universe into countless pieces, the first firmament. The Aspirants are so powerful they were able to match a Life-Ring Galactus and the rest of the Eternity Watch. The Death Celestials are incredibly powerful. There are no ways to describe what it can do. It's not like anything according to Scott. It's like it's eliminating thought. It can decide it's done with a cat and all the cats are gone. There wasn't any fighting, things that were suddenly were not. It is said to be death, impossible death. Civilizations are on the eve of annihilation from all things, a monstrous prairie that consumes universe after universe, a race of mad gods whom not even the Omega Council can stop. The Omega Council grew the earth as a miracle to defeat the Death Celestials, or else the universe will break. The Death Celestials are mere obliteration. Earth was designed by the Omega Council to fight the Celestials. They grew them to save everything. Was going to crush the engine and then finish dissolving the universe from conception. Ant-Man watched it erase everything, watched it erase the idea of things. It's death. They cannot stop it. It's nature of things. The Defenders either shut the engine down or the universe will break. The mad gods are beyond the veil of space and time that came to break everything. and the superheroes of the universe were designed to stop them. Will bring about cosmic apocalypse, first eradicating all life on Earth, and then seizing any engine extinct. Will bring about cosmic apocalypse. Will bring about a cosmic apocalypse, first eradicating all life on Earth, then seizing any concordance engine extinct, then starts again somewhere new. The mass celestials are godlike celestials from Earth 4280. They fight the Council of Reeds, and the Infinity Gauntlet is the only way the Council can turn the tide of battle. The Council want to use the Soul Avail against the mass celestials with Crush and Beyonder from Earth 5202. Reed considers the mass celestials invasion a minimum level threat and will attempt to destroy the universe. The mass celestials approach the 616 universe and must delay if the future is to be saved. One mass celestial takes a beam from the Ultimate Nullifier, the most powerful weapon in the universe. Galactus consumes 4 planets and attempts to fight the mass celestials. They are mad gods and they will come to destroy us all. The 4 mad celestials fight Fed Galactus combined and one-shot Galactus. Adult Franklin gets stored up with power from his kid self. He then fights 3 mad celestials. Nathaniel Richards has seen hundreds of iterations of this day, revived in countless times, and did everything he could to help Franklin win, and failed. Franklin revived Galactus to fight them. Despite using the Solar Veil in accordance to Galactus' aid, the Mad Celestials could not be defeated. Franklin combined his reality-altering power with the might of Galactus to finally achieve victory over the Celestials. The one above all Celestial is the commander of the 4th host, as well as their master. Physically, powers may be equal or superior to that of most powerful beings in the known universe. He can draw planets to himself and use as weapons, which considers menacing potential. The one above Celestial is the most powerful of Celestials. He can tank attacks from Logos that one-shot the 5 other Celestials and can hurt Logos set by the Nether Queen. With the help of the Nether Queen, he revives the Celestial race by creating the 5th host, and is also a member of the 5th host and should still be their master as well as the strongest member of this host. The final host killed 5th host member including Isan the Searcher. The final host are the most powerful enemies of Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America yet to fight against. The final host to fight them is hopeless. The Avengers' greatest challenge yet, and unstoppable according to Tony. Not even the Odin sword or Yarnborg can crack their armor according to Odin. Odin doesn't think the Avengers have a chance, and just as his team didn't stand a chance against the first host, calling them a different breed, and the first host and could not even stop. Nothing in Asgard could just stop them. The final host fell every celestial in existence. The battle against the final host is unlike anything the Avengers have ever experienced. Odin knows that nothing on the face of the earth could stop the Celestials' judgment. Robbie Reyes isn't ready to face the rain of destruction the final host would bring. None of them are, according to Starbrand, and they are the biggest enemies the Avengers have ever faced, crackling with limitless cosmic energy. The Dreaming Celestial is the greatest of all the Celestials, perceived impossible to destroy. Nothing on Earth can contain its power except the veil from which its energy came from. It is said to be the strongest of the hosts, quite possibly the most powerful of the hosts, and any entity even the Celestials fear. The universe shudders and shifts because of the awakening of the Dreaming Celestial, with Galactus being afraid of him. The Dreaming Celestial beats up Arishem and other Celestials before being overwhelmed. Proves a powerful equal to the Fulcrum by gaining free will and was accepted as an equal by the Fulcrum. which tells you how incredibly powerful the Dreaming Celestial is, given that the Fulcrum, which we'll get into next, has some of the most crazy and powerful statements I've seen regarding Celestials. It's just incredible. Like, you can really use his scaling to get him really high and like top tier in the Marvelverse. The function of the Celestials and the Horrors is to serve the Fulcrum. Every particle, being, concept, action exists in the state of substantial equivalence to the Fulcrum. An effective force of the universe, whose purpose all things must begin and end, and is the one above, as well as seemingly Jack Kirby. Every being in the universe is a tool of the Fulcrum. Beyond Tiamat's conception and comprehension, a being of higher power, the Fulcrum is a powerful being, and also knowing it is the very essence of what holds reality in its place. The Fulcrum has been searching for a companion since the Big Bang. Tiamat is the only being to question the Fulcrum. It is the cosmic force that imposes balance between creation and destruction in the universe. And this is probably one of the greatest statements regarding the Fulcrum, which can get really high within the Marvelverse. You all can take this as you will. A supreme being dubbed the Fulcrum, and the one above all. Eternity, death, and the living tribunal are his subordinates, and is the creator. Now, I've heard different interpretations of this character. Some say he is the one above all, while others say he is an aspect of the one above all, which, being an aspect, makes more sense given that this would be an inverse representation of the writer taking form like in earlier runs like Jack Kirby or other avatars of Toa that has appeared over the years, such as, well, one of his appearance in Sterling's run, No Road Home, Defenders Beyond, or the Divine Creator. So you can use this statement to, scale the Fulcrum as high into Marvel or somewhere like incredibly high as you want him to be. This is a very powerful statement to use for him, and you can say he is like another one above all others in a sense, or an aspect of the one above all. But as of now, that's all I have for Celestials. I really enjoyed making this video. I'd like to thank my friend King Glow for helping me with the research and scaling the Celestials, and finding good statements for them was fun. If you want more in-depth video on each individual Celestial, just comment down below. Doing this research made me want to do a video on Eternity down the line as well. And scaling the Beyonder and the race as a whole would be something to look out to in the future. This has been fun. Please share the video to those who are interested in Celestial scaling and overall history of Celestials, as well as subscribe. My goal is to reach 200K, so let's make it happen, guys. Until next time, my fellow knights, I'll see you later. Peace.